Night Pints is brought to you by 3cheap.com. We got Dante making his first appearance. We got Donnie making his first appearance, second appearance. Everybody else has been here, so welcome to the show, bud.
Thanks, man.
What is wrong? What a
Tommy's
weird
just
guy.
fucking walking through like.
Always has to be a part of everything. The guy's just, you know, can't let us have this.
With all those lights and clear ad read happening.
This is the absolute biggest like production we do here in the office, where there's like lights and cameras and a whole bunch of people, and you're like, oh.
He was cutting an ad read.
Guys,
clearly.
it's party night. He's already in party mode. Give him a
Tommy
break.
fucking smokes.
He's already drunk.
How long do you think it took him to pick out that outfit, knowing that we have?
It's so wrinkled.
Oh, he wait. I mean, if you want, he's wearing the most wrinkled shirt I've seen in a while.
Come show the people how wrinkled the
Oh,
shirt is.
come do what exactly you wanted to happen.
A little look behind the camera. We're pre-recording this one, so this is actually right before.
It's probably
our
unwrinkled
office party.
throughout the day, but it's wrinkled.
It's dark enough that you can't.
Yeah.
You know
Oh,
what? That's
yeah,
not
up
that.
close. It's
Yeah,
not
it's
bad.
been a couple hours.
I'm gonna give it to him. That's not that
Your
bad.
nipples are
I wouldn't be
puffy.
freaking
He's
out
got
over
puffy
that.
nipples.
I would
Really?
be thinking more
I
about the
got
fact
that
that
too,
you know
though.
the
You
body
too?
underneath it.
That's what I said. Can I get a beer, please?
Yes. We got beers and 3 cheap flowing. Now, my partner in crime, Feidelberg, is not here because I think he might be dead. Yeah, prayers up for the homie fights. So if you watched KFC Radio this past, earlier this week, he was sick and his fucking like lymph nodes and his tonsils were so swollen that I literally like stopped the show. I was taken aback. I was like, it's like, bro, you're disgusting. So he went to like City MD. And they're like, here's some fucking, they're like, you have an STD, here's some penicillin. The only thing that they do with CMD is treat fucking people who are fucking raw. You know what I mean? They don't know what they're doing. And so then it got worse, and he went to the hospital, and then they transferred him from like whatever hospital he was at. He had to go up to Lenox Hill, which is uptown. That's when he hopped in the ambulance, which was so stupid. That's gonna be like a $3,000 charge. He could have just gotten an Uber. And the whole time I'm texting him, I'm like, you good? And he's like, yeah, this is just a bunch of dramatics. I'm like, all right, cool. And then he's like in the ambulance. I'm like, you sure you're good? Because now you're in an ambulance. He's like, I swear this is no big deal. And then I'm like, all right, keep me updated. He's like, so they don't really know what's up yet, so now I'm getting a CAT scan. I'm like, are you sure you're good? Because at this point, I'm like, do you need help? Do you want me to do anything? He stays like overnight, and they're like, we don't really know what's up, but we think you're good. It's like, okay. At one point, there was a line that said, if he said that there's some sort of abscess, he said there's an abscess in something, and something else can wrap around that, and if I go to sleep and it wraps around it, I'll die.
Yikes.
No big deal.
Also, this is a kid who predicted his own death before 4th of July. He said,
that's a
I'm going to
major
die
asterisk.
before July 4th.
His
and now,
neck and the lymph. Oh my God.
Have you ever had that
with
happen?
the neck beard too?
What?
You ever had that happen?
No. It was.
I still haven't
shocking.
seen it. I couldn't find it.
Oh, it's gruesome. It is
That's
absolutely
what's
My
happening
jaw
to me
dropped.
right now.
Yo, it freaks you out. You look in the mirror and it looks like you got stung by bees.
It was shocking.
I've had, swollen lymph nodes, but it's more in, like, I can feel it. You can't really
swallow.
see it.
You can't
This
swallow.
is like
it like hurts to
bad.
swallow. Fucking hurts to touch.
I've looked like that for 6 months.
Yeah, you've had fat face for a long time.
Oh wow! Wait, hold on.
Dude.
Oh
It looks
yeah.
bad.
It is absolutely
And
obscene.
it's not
disgusting.
and if it lasts longer than like 24 hours, if it lasts longer,
He was mid podcast.
I will say,
he
I've
was doing like our
defended
top
his-
fives. He's like, well, so then for my 4th pick, and he puts his neck on my lip.
yo, so this is how many days now?
Just two.
I've been a
All right.
defender
Gotta
of
go on
his mustache. It doesn't play when the neck looks like
Nah.
that. I will
The
say,
whole-
I've liked the stash. Now,
Bro, the whole
it's
thing's
one or
gotta
the other
go.
now.
He admits
Fucking
that it's
love
ugly and
fights.
he's doing it because it's funny. I'm like, you wear like a stupid shirt because it's funny. You don't just have an ugly face because it's funny. You don't walk
tried
around
to
being
go
like,
that-
my face is the joke.
I tried to grow that playoff beard for the Islanders 2 years ago.
Oh, that was disgusting.
2 years ago.
That was disgusting.
And I had to go to the fucking Kentucky Derby with Dave. We met like Tom Brady, and I had these little pieces of hair curling out. Every person I met, I had to apologize when I spoke
I know,
to
it's
them. I
like,
said,
just for
"Listen,
my
it's
existence."
this stupid fucking thing I'm doing, and they're like, ew.
That was so patchy and
Ew.
stringy. And,
Have you guys ever
by
gotten
the-
falsely diagnosed with something at like City MD?
Can't say I have.
I think
no.
so.
I feel like that's like a coin flip if you go to one of
Yeah,
those
It
places.
is. I mean,
Yeah.
it's funny that they ended up doing everything wrong because I was saying here in the city when you need to fill some shit out and they're like, "Who's your primary doctor?" I'm like, I don't know, the fucking guy at the clinic.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
because we don't go to doctors, we just go on the. You're my primary physician.
It sounds like
But-
you have a story though.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I mean, like last year I had mono, and they just couldn't diagnose me with anything, and I got diagnosed with basically everything under the. Like I had pink eye. I
Lyme's
had
disease.
I had everything you could have gotten, and they just weren't helping me. I went to like 75 different CDMDs, and they just couldn't do anything.
They're not doctors. I don't
Yeah.
think they're like
Oh,
licensed.
I
I
had
went
to,
to
like-
one recently, and there was like a 22-year-old kid from Hofstra University there, and he was just going to diagnose me with what was ever wrong. And I said,
Yeah.
you can't tell me anything.
I swear to God, I really think like 75% of their shit is like, it burns when I pee, and they're just like, here's some penicillin.
Yeah.
You know?
I watched.
Could you imagine them during COVID? They must have been like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, I was listening to a podcast this morning, the Workaholics guys podcast.
Uh-huh.
They do one, and Adam Devine was saying that he got, while they had like a writer's room meeting for the show, and he was like 3 hours late because he got falsely diagnosed with AIDS.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
His doctor called him and was like, "You have AIDS."
When was this?
Like it must have
recently?
been, no, it must have
Oh
been
my
like
God.
multiple years
Because
ago.
I was gonna say like now, AIDS is
Yeah,
kind of
but
over.
still,
but if it's like
you don't
the
want
heat of
AIDS.
things and you
Yeah.
got AIDS, holy
Yeah,
shit.
and then he,
By
like,
the way,
called
what
his
was
doctor.
wrong that you get like
He
some
called
shit
his
must have
doctor.
been-
No, he like got an STD test, and like the results came back that he had AIDS.
Oh my.
And then he called the doctor, and he's like, "This can't be possible. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have AIDS." And they were like, "No, you do have AIDS." And then he went and got tested again, and he had nothing.
Dude, that is a nightmare. But also, if you're a writer and you're into
Yeah.
comedy and shit, you must have been like, oh my God, this is the best.
And
thing that's
also,
ever
one of my
happened. It's the greatest
friends,
story ever.
one of my friends had a sore throat, and they sent him to the doctor, and the CDMD person told him he had throat cancer. I swear to God, that was last year too.
I didn't
That was
know
another
that this
thing
was like a
Feidelberg was
bad
like-
place. I thought it was a great place.
No,
I mean, I'm not,
it's fine.
it's not
but,
all
like-
CDMDs. It's like I'm
No,
talking about like
but I
community
think it
clinic
is a
type
total
shit.
different
It's
flip where
one
like-
step above
Yeah.
just Googling it yourself and getting like the WebMD,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
always says you have the worst
Yeah.
condition possible. They're like one rung above that.
Fight said he was like, yeah, we're all good. They're doing a biopsy, but I'm all good. I'm like, well, don't we need to wait for the biopsy results
Yeah.
to say if we're all good or not?
I didn't know so many people went to him. So I know a guy in Chicago that owns like a chain of them, and he is fucking loaded.
Rich. Well, yeah, I mean, they used to call them Doc in the Box, and they called them Minute Clinic. Now they're called City MDs, so they must change hands or whatever. But
How are
they're
they like
perfect
legal?
for-
How are they like legal?
I mean, I joke around that they're not doctors. They must have some like degree, but I'm sure it is literally the bottom of the fucking rung.
Dude, I don't know. I went there to get, when like COVID first started, I went there to get a blood test, and this lady, I don't think it ever drew blood.
Yeah,
in
they
her life.
can't hit your vein. They
Like,
fuck it
Yeah,
up. Yes.
and then
like
you get the
terrible.
big ass bruise.
Yes.
You get that.
Skin
Yeah.
cushion.
They also made the mistake, like they gave free COVID testing, but then if they check your vitals, if they're like, oh, can we take your blood pressure? Then they charge you for
Yeah,
like
because then it
regular
counts like a
check.
real doctor's
Like the
appointment.
COVID test was free, and then they
Fights
always
is
ask
doing
for
all right.
Yeah.
I was
That's
gonna
the
say.
hook.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm just whenever I see him tweet something, I'm like, okay, he's okay. That's all.
They
that
put
matters.
him on a stretcher at one point, and then it was one of those like ambulance ones, and so they lifted it up, and it was like comically high. He was like up here, so he was sitting there like buckled in, like arms crossed, and he was like 9 feet in the air, just like, so what's up? I mean, just
That's
as
crazy.
awkward as can
So
be.
he was up at 5 in the morning this morning because I texted him
I think
when I
it's been like up around the clock.
I texted him before I got on the plane, and I was like, "Yo, are you gonna make it tonight?" And he was like, "I don't think so."
Yeah, no, I definitely.
I was like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" And he's like, "They don't know yet, but I'll be fine."
What's funny is that he could have taken that as, are you going to make it out to the party,
Yeah.
or are you going to
Are
make
you
it
gonna
like
die?
survive? And either way, I think the answer for him is no. So
It's kind of scary too, because like we all were together with like this with that Boston Islanders crew. We were.
Yeah.
It was like we're all finally back in the world, and we all just started feeling like run down. We
Yeah.
all immediately got like
Maybe you guys got
COVID
AIDS.
tests and stuff. We got something, bro. 'Cause
Well,
I've been
he also
coughing
went
for like
to-
4 weeks. My dad's been like drained. I think it's just the
no,
playoffs.
that's you. Yeah,
I think
you
yeah.
have
I
something
I think
called the
Feidelberg has a case of the playoffs.
the playoff flu.
Yes.
It really is a thing, man. Especially, it's not it hasn't happened here in New York.
That's
but there were-
Causeway Street, man.
Dude,
you guys are
I'm
on
just
Causeway.
done.
Like,
we wake up every morning, we're like, oh.
Imagine
we feel like
there's
shit.
been times where people here have a hockey team and an NBA team in the playoffs.
Oh, no.
And it's just every night.
No.
You just alternate
Yes,
teams.
literally,
it's
I have,
sickening.
today I have a day off.
Yeah.
At least.
Oh man,
my
I mean,
God.
yeah, you are in the thick of it right now, where it's like
spoiled New York
it's your own
sports fans.
sport, man. It's your own sport. Like
Yeah.
in your world right now, you're like your mind, body, and soul has to be ready
I'm
every
watching a
night.
Yankee game in like 3 weeks.
Yeah, fuck
I just
that.
can't.
That's-
I can't. I can't. I turned it on the other night, and like Garrett Cole's pitching, I was able to do that. But any other game aside from
Yeah.
Garrett Cole, if you think I'm watching a Yankee
Bro,
game
you're,
right now,
you're
fucking
literally
insane.
you're literally crying your eyes out in the Coliseum, and then you're gonna turn around and watch a fucking baseball game right now. Not a fucking
Bro,
chance.
I can't watch any of the sport right now. That basketball game that took the last 90 seconds took 30 minutes.
Yo,
real
how
time.
great has basketball, the playoffs, been this season?
They've been great, but they got to figure out the last 90 seconds. You have to figure it out.
It sucks, but
Take timeouts away. Do
Dude,
something.
it's funny that everyone's like, this is a nightmare for the NBA, and it's like,
No, it's the best.
it's not. They
It's
got
the
all
best.
these new stars. You've got dramatic.
first time I've
endings, you have-
cared in like 5 years.
because they all.
Also, who fucking cares? People act like they work for the fucking network.
I know,
It's the most
I know.
exhausting like argument. Like,
And who cares
it's
now
bad for
about
the
which
league.
city?
Who
Like
gives a
now,
shit?
like LeBron was in Cleveland. Nobody Cleveland became a spot because of
Right.
him. Fucking Devin Booker and company are gonna make Phoenix a hot spot.
Yo, you seen
Like, it
those
doesn't-
crowds? Those Suns crowds
Awesome.
are fucking insane.
Because they are real fans
Also-
who
Yeah.
are like foaming at the mouth. That's a
Massive
good
market.
thing.
Totally agree.
The biggest
Yeah.
capital city in the like it's a huge fucking
it's such
city.
a
Totally
and then when it is like the Lakers, the fucking Nets, when it is like the top teams, everyone's like the NBA is so predictable, and when it's the new teams, they're like this is a
The
nightmare.
other thing too, I think that plays into it is you don't have LeBron and these guys that get every fucking whistle
Every call, yeah.
in these series right now. So they're actually
It's
letting
truly
these
like up
guys
for grabs.
play.
Yeah.
And there's like possession with no whistle, and it's like
that alley-oop to end it was
Oh my God.
dude, it's a
unbelievable.
I didn't know that was legal.
I didn't know that rule either, and
I
I
don't know
wonder
allowed to do that. I don't know why no teams don't do that.
I guarantee, yeah, like just in the middle of the game, right?
Yes, you
Like,
think
like,
it's
You
Yeah,
can
that happen a
goaltend
lot.
it. You can
And
goaltend
off
it.
and
It's
inbounds.
like if it's like Steph Curry,
Yeah.
just like clearly lining up to make a shot.
That
you
was-
just jump up and swat.
that was
at.
like a big
no, wait. They said there's no goaltending on an inbounds play like that. So
Right.
you can't just goaltend on a regular.
Right,
shot.
but I was saying, what do you mean? You mean why don't they just try
Yeah,
to
like
shoot it
more-
in?
more often
not
if
even
you're
a
just
game winner,
inbounding
just
from
like a
the-
normal 2 seconds left on the shot clock.
Or
from the
even
same
just a fucking in the middle of the
spot.
game. You know,
That
if
was
you're
a
inbounding
big.
the ball
So
underneath the
when
hoop, just
when
fucking-
Doc Rivers was in Boston and they were like good for two seasons, like really good, that was a big out of a timeout thing that he used to run all the time.
He
And then
would
it was
do the
like-
goaltending alley.
And then it
Because I
would,
was
like-
gonna say, I
and
bet
then it,
you
like,
most
disappear.
players don't know that. Like that's good coaching. If he like calls a timeout, he's like, all right guys, we can goaltend. We're allowed to right now, so let's fucking do
Yeah.
that. I guarantee a lot of players would.
Oh, no, that's what I'm saying. That's why people don't just try to shoot at it because like you can on both sides. Goals.
Right.
It's like if it's a clear like, well, this team always shoots it from out of bounds.
Right.
Like, they're just
Yeah.
gonna go up there and swat
You know, a
it.
beer, Ken?
Yep.
Please?
Anybody else want?
Also, Doc Rivers, by
yeah.
the way.
I need one.
Thank you.
I
Doc-
said
What a fucking
Doc's gotta
fraud.
go,
most
bro.
What a
overrated,
fucking
most
fraud.
overrated
Yo,
coach.
that
He
Shirley
is-
Temple with that
I
He
know, I
is
didn't
the-
want to bother him.
No.
He's
I
on the
was
wrong
thinking about
side
it
of
last
like
night.
every
Didn't wanna bother his
fucking
dad,
bad
all that
playoff
shit.
loss.
Huge fraud.
Dude, so I'm
Won
telling
one title with the
Also
Celtics.
was
Didn't win any more with that
beautiful.
big fucking team. Won the title when there were no big threes
Right.
at all.
Yes, they were the first.
And he had nothing.
Almost
to
got
really
bounced
do
in
with
the first round and the second round by the Hawks and the Cavs. Fraud.
And it, like people forget the year before that, that was one of the worst seasons
Celtics
in like
seems like
Celtics
ever.
history.
Yeah.
If KG doesn't get gift wrapped by McHale to Boston, like Rivers is gone.
Yeah, 100%.
He's probably back in telecasting,
Mm-hmm.
TV, and never again. Since then, he got that
Clippers
push
happened.
In
Clippers
the
Clippers
one
job.
happened
finals.
in-
One finals.
the Sixers.
Yeah,
And
he's-
now, fast forward, the Celtics have their first ever black coach.
Oh my
That
God.
was an
That
unbelievable
was insane.
bad tweet.
Unreal tweet.
Unbelievably bad
And
by
to
Jason
follow it up
Williams.
with, I got hacked.
That is the
Are you
worst.
shitting me?
I've been hacked.
Dude, just
call
own it.
ever.
Like, be like, my bad.
If he just said like I
Like,
got
fucked
really
up.
excited that we just have it's I'm always excited when there's a person of color who gets a big job and I just got ahead of myself. People would have just been like, okay.
Did he
cool.
say you got hacked?
He said,
well, yeah,
he
he
said,
said
in
that.
regards to my last tweet, I didn't send it. I have now changed my passcode, and it won't happen again.
That's insane.
And what's really funny is someone in the replies to the original tweet saying the Celtics just hired their first like coach of color. He used like the black fist emoji.
Yeah.
He used the 3 dots and an ampersand, which is like his style of
Yeah,
tweeting. So
yeah.
someone had a screenshot being
Yeah.
like, so crazy that your hacker also tweets exactly like
Yeah.
you tweet.
And about the subject, like you can't claim you got hacked when it's like if they're tweeting
Why
like
would a
porno links
hacker
and
do
shit.
that?
Like I love tits. Like yeah, okay.
Yeah,
you probably got
then you can fucking use that excuse. You can't
Come
use that
on,
excuse when it's like
That's
on
crazy
brand.
It's
stupid.
like a lame thing you say when like you text a girl and you're like, "Oh, sorry, my buddy
got-
took my phone." Like that's
Well, that's
such
what,
a, that's
that's
like a
what
middle school
infamously,
excuse.
that's what Smitty
Somebody,
did. with Dave.
there was a story when I first worked
Forgot about
at,
that
Right?
shit.
It was his friend who sent that.
when I first
anti-Semitic
worked at
tweet.
Major League Baseball, I heard a story that this actually is true. You can go look it up, like the tweets. Somebody got fired, but had all the passwords still for the team accounts,
Oh,
and tweeted out
gotta
a bunch
change
of
that
stuff
shit.
like, Like from the White Sox, they tweeted like, if you're in a wheelchair, do not come tonight. We removed all ramps.
see
And
that?
then- but they did all these things, but the best one. So they did a bunch of like really like fucked up ones. But then from the Cubs account, they just tweeted "fuck Bill Murray." That's all they put.
That happened.
See,
here.
Dude,
I
how
think
is that?
when-
How
when-
has this
when
never been
you-
talked about?
When you hack people and you just like drop an N-bomb or say something ridiculous, everyone's immediately like, all right, that person's been hacked. But you say some shit like that where it's like, wait a minute.
So there's an even
like,
worse.
hold
So
on.
when I was at ABC, somebody hacked my coworker's tweet deck, which that's bad.
'Cause then you have access to
that's
everything,
every
right?
single ABC News account. You can move like the stock market by tweeting
Yeah,
out.
oh,
one.
yeah,
You can just
yeah.
tweet
You
out.
can
oh,
start
like,
a nuclear
the president
war,
has
man.
died.
Right.
All they tweeted out. This is all they got through all of the fucking two-factor everything. Tweeted out from ABC. Tyler the Creator has died. That's all they tweeted
All
out.
right, I got a wild story.
If you're gonna
since
go through
we're on
all
the
that,
subject.
like at least try and ruin
Yeah.
people's lives. Like that was nothing.
Damn.
Go
Yeah.
Obama. Say the
I would,
president. Say
I would
whatever
never
else.
tell the story unless we were on this subject, but blackout tour days. Remember
Uh-huh.
D-Lo?
Uh-huh.
Dave logged in on like the blackout laptop to his. He had TweetDeck or Hootsuite. It was Hootsuite back in the day.
Yep.
Never logged out.
Dilo
D-Lo
had his account the whole time. What
Like,
did he do?
followed all the DMs. Like
No.
he knew
had all the
everything.
bodies,
That,
where
he
all the
knew
bodies of
everything that was
yeah.
going on for like 4 years.
Dude, that's smart. You get some job security off of that shit.
Big time. Never changed his
But he
password.
had
for, like,
Dave's?
That's
5
so
years.
Dave. That's so Dave.
Yeah, I don't
to
think
just
he's. I don't think he probably still has the same password today.
I could guess Dave's passwords within 3 shots. I could probably guess Dave's like
I think I could
banking
too.
passwords and shit.
Yeah, he
we
got
all
his,
could. by
he
the
got his
way.
ID. He got his identity stolen, didn't he?
I'm
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, he did.
No,
yeah.
that was like
Fort
that was
Lauderdale.
like.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Dave Portnoy won or
Or
whatever.
Pompano
yeah.
Beach, Florida. It was a guy with dreads.
Yes, yeah. Did you see what happened to him today? You've been reporting and shit. You heard what, his appearance on Fox News?
No.
Charles Payne called him a little bitch on
What?
TV. It's one of my favorite things
I haven't
fucking
watched it yet.
absolutely
Do we
ever.
have to fight Charles Payne?
I think
Oh,
Dave was
Dave
a good
liked
sport
it.
about it.
Dave
Dave
tucked
loved
his
it?
tail immediately.
Oh,
He's a
okay.
big black guy. He's not gonna say shit to him.
He loved it. He laughed right away.
But yeah, he tweeted out that this is great. It's like put asses in the seats.
He does. I mean, I'm sure he did like not. I don't think he came back over the top,
That's
but I do
really
think
good.
Dave loves that rather
Oh,
than
yeah.
just do
Yeah.
a same old like very.
Suck my dick.
The,
Yeah,
the network
yeah.
like apologized to him when he tweeted like, "Don't apologize. This is how we put asses in the seats. This is great."
Yeah, I think that like I think Dave's like I wish I knew that was the fucking dynamic.
Vibe,
I would have
yeah.
come
Right.
like harder or whatever. But so you got your new shit out too, huh?
Yeah,
Die
Die Trying's fully out now. Yes.
I think
Really good.
Donnie might die trying. There's going to at least be, and I don't wish this upon you, but I think there's going to be a big injury.
There'll
at
be
some
an
point.
injury. Yeah.
Close
No,
call.
I'm
Ready
already
for
like
that?
I've planned for that.
I
Like,
almost think as long as you're okay, probably good for.
Yeah, I'm trying to plan the
Yeah, I know what I
episodes
mean.
out so like the ones that I have a higher chance of getting hurt, I film later so I can at least like bank some of them to have.
That's
but,
terrible.
I always said I want to do Barstool Jackass, just like a little, but that's like
Basically what it's
10
doing.
million times more than what I envisioned. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, let's jump through a fucking bush or something.
That still would be funny. I would watch Dana jump through bushes.
You have
But,
good insurance?
Dude, this, yeah.
I don't know, I have work insurance. I don't. fucking-
Well, I think we're decent.
I mean, you're going to MedVet or whatever the hell it's
No,
called.
so
Like,
we have
Back
good.
then,
We
you-
have like I'm not too worried about that because I remember like the last summer I fell in a fire and I burned my leg pretty bad. And
Right, I
I
remember
use
that.
our
Holy
insurance
shit.
and our insurance like covered everything. So
What is, it,
Dude,
what
you're
is- what
in-
is it about your brain that you're able to do that stuff?
I didn't try to fall in a fire. That
No,
was
I'm
bad.
saying
No,
it's
but
like
you climb
being
the
able to
buildings,
like
does the
accept
hooning
like
and
the,
shit.
yeah. If I stood on a
What's it
building, I'd
called?
puke.
Yeah.
Pounding, yeah, I don't know. I
Dude,
think it's
those-
like the same. Like I still like get like nervous, but I like enjoy the feeling. I think it's the same thing.
Could
There's
not
something
be a
in your
more
brain that
polar
makes that
opposite.
different.
Yeah.
Like I just
Than
like
me.
the feeling of being like butterflies. Like I really like.
We
enjoy
had
that.
Sydney Wells on talking outdoors last week, and I was like, I can't think of a more polar opposite human than me. You know, you're a girl, I'm a guy. You're outdoors, I'm indoors. Da, da, da. But this dude, you might be it, brother.
I don't know.
Well,
I
his
mean-
Instagram stories of him walking on top of skyscrapers
Yeah.
makes me want to fucking puke.
But so he steps up and does the school bus race, which was unbelievable because it immediately had me thinking of Cruising USA from back in
Yeah.
the day. I don't know if you
Yeah, the old
remember
school
that?
shit,
Where you could
yeah.
drive, you could be the Ferrari or the fucking school bus. So this dude's racing the school bus. I say to him like, do you have like experience like driving trucks or big? He's like, no, I don't know how to do that. So
Almost
okay,
exploded the
just fucking-
engine.
And then he almost blew it up. And then he fucking I can say this is out. Right?
Yeah, it's out. It's been
He
out for a
goes
while
out
now.
and he fucking wins So all these like hillbillies or whoever it is who's like, we're here every year doing the fucking school bus race, and this dickhead shows up with his little fucking haircut, looking all like cute, and he's like, yeah, I'll take that trophy. Thanks.
They were so
Give me
mad.
that.
They were so mad.
Dude, you
can't
gotta
imagine.
defend it next year.
I know. I said like I'll have to come back. Like, there's
Yeah.
no way I can't. But
I actually would retire, to be honest. I'd be like,
Yeah, it's
1-0
true.
for life. Get yourself a new trophy because this one's staying with me,
you
bro.
could tell that was just painful. They like joked before. They showed me the trophy. They're like, imagine if you won this. Like, no, no chance. I was like, and I was too. I was like, yeah. there's no chance.
flipped that one.
Dude, and then like insult to injury, they're like, you're gonna get fucked up in this like the demo part. Like now that you won, everyone's gonna just want to like crash, like wreck you. So I was like, all right, I'll probably get flipped. Like hopefully I can get some people. I spun 4 around and I like 360 flipped the guy, and then the way I exited was I crashed myself into a pole. So like it could not have gone better for episode
Jeez.
1. It's gonna be hard to top now, but that was a great.
I was gonna say you did
great
come
first
out hot,
episode.
so the bar is
Came
high.
out hot,
but
but we just locked in plans for the second episode, and I'm like ecstatic. Like,
Dude, he gave me the
Keep it up,
rundown.
very ecstatic. Yeah, I won't announce it yet, but I'm ecstatic.
He
just
gave me
from
the
front.
rundown over there of the 6. I'm not going to spoil anything, but he was rattling these things off, and I was just like, you could not pay me any amount of money to do any one of these things.
well, I mean, it's funny you say that, but it's like,
No, seriously.
Is there, you know, like if I told you that he's gonna blow up and have so many views and such a popular account that he's gonna be doing like
No, dude,
you know,
you-
Mr. Beast type numbers where it's like you can make $50 million a year.
No, I want to live.
I'm kind of with you on that. I don't know if there's enough money to like.
It's like for me,
I
it's
would
crazy.
maybe do like school
much.
bus racing, but
Yeah,
like
it's too much, bro.
yeah.
No, that's
really
one thing.
is.
But like Frankie said, the heights shit
Yeah.
and like
No, yeah, that shit
Fuck
scares
that.
me.
The heights
As I'm
gets
getting
me.
older, I'm getting more and more scared
Even the
of shit
videos
too.
of the
Like
hype shit, like not like yours specifically, but like some of them just.
Oh,
makes
all the
you-
people are way like
And
I
I
don't
like
I'm
consider
falling
falling
myself.
off
in bed. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh.
Yes.
There are
yeah.
people that do way crazy. Like I have my limits. There are people that are way
Yeah.
crazier than me. Like I have, like I wouldn't even consider myself that as far as the scheme of things go. Like I'm probably like somewhere in the middle. But,
Yeah.
I mean, for me, this show is great. I get to live out all like the childhood dreams I've had. So it's.
Will
like,
you jump out
awesome.
of a plane without a parachute at some point?
See, no, I wouldn't do
Okay.
that. Like that's like there.
Wait,
that doesn't
is that even
appeal to
possible?
me.
Yeah, well, people
it's
jump
been
out and
done.
like they
It's
grab
also
on,
been.
they, like,
it's
spin,
been
or like they throw the
Oh,
pack
yeah,
and they
yeah,
get to
yeah.
it,
Those,
or they
like,
have the.
heights.
It's
the-
some guy
yeah,
fell into
yeah.
a net. Like it's been done before. So like big stunts like
Yeah.
that, it's like, well, I recreate it. It's already been done.
Right.
Like, but
Remember that
Just
dude who
don't
went
be
to-
that
jumped out of
phony.
space?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
that
like
guy
a-
was
yeah,
cool.
like
but
an astronaut
now he just keeps
helmet
doing
on.
them, and it's like he walks across Times Square, but he's got like a harness. Which that's
Oh.
fine. I would never do that.
I'm
But
done with the tightrope walkers that have a fucking harness or.
But like, there's a level
Because
like,
it's
you can't start with jumping out of the fucking atmosphere and then walk across Times Square.
it's
No,
hard to
it only
top
gets-
that.
you
It's
can't-
hard.
you
It's hard to
can't.
top.
Yeah.
How about when David Blaine did the balloons? That didn't even move the needle
Nah, it
anymore.
wasn't that
I
good.
feel
Remember
like
when he-
David Blaine's had his time.
Remember when he lived in the box?
Yeah.
Amazing.
And
He's done way
I
cooler
love
shit.
David Blaine.
And then they were throwing eggs and shit
Oh,
at him.
David
That,
When he was, my favorite one is in the ice and he had hypothermia,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he was hallucinating.
Dude,
Blaine was on the
that's-
roof.
OG internet video.
was
OG
that
internet video.
That OG David Blaine spoof video.
It's
where
so
David
good.
Blaine
Yeah.
coming down the roof.
Jesus.
Yeah, he's like, Jesus! Such a dumb, like, E-bombs.
That guy's on
video.
SNL now. I
Yeah,
think.
he is.
When he was standing on the pole
Yeah.
in Bryant Park, Sal Vulcano, who's on Impractical Jokers, a comedian, does a show with Chris Stefano. He went over to Bryant Park and he got like a little box, and he stood up on it. And the way they shot it, there was the huge crowd was there for David Blaine, but he made it look like they were there for him.
great.
So he's standing on like a 2-foot box and he's like eating a sandwich. You know, David Blaine's like meditating, and Sal's like eating and sweating, and he's like, "What the fuck?" But it all looked like they were there for him. It was unbelievable. But I mean, he used to like. When he was inside the ice box, when he was
tried to
standing
die.
up, like standing on a pole,
The big
it's not
ball
like
in,
visually
Lincoln
crazy,
Center.
but it's like if you just,
It's impressive.
I couldn't just stand like this for 72 hours or whatever
Yeah.
it was, let alone on a fucking pole.
the best David Blaine shit is the stuff where he's like with the celebrities and they're freaking
That's
out.
the thing.
It's like sleight of
watching-
hand is
like
so
watch-
incredible.
Yes.
No,
Yeah,
like
he does
watching
those-
the,
his
like,
magic is awesome.
watching the celebs
Him
freak
just
out. Like,
levitating
that's
is cooler than anything
Yeah,
he
when-
does with the
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
big
That's
stuff.
actually if you just you can do that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you
He
just stand the right
explains it,
way
yeah.
and do it, it looks
Yeah.
like you're
I had like
Magicians
a-
are fucking nuts.
We
have
should
this
get a
guy
magic
comes-
guy here.
We
I
have
had
a
a
guy
phase.
that comes to
We
the
don't,
Barstool
you're
I
right.
don't have a magic guy at Barstool.
This guy comes to the
Sass?
Barstool Classic once in a while. He's actually a golf pro at like Liberty National. He's like an unbelievable golfer, but he also does magic.
I love it.
Fucking blows your mind.
I
He put
feel
a
like-
fucking thing in my shoe.
the coolest
Inside your
fucking
shoe?
shit in the
It went in
world.
my shoe. I was like, how'd you do that? But obviously it didn't go in my shoe. Somehow, someway he made it look like it came out of
I
my
will
shoe.
say this: it's
I
magic.
don't know
is
how it happened.
magic is cool when you're really fucking good at it, but anywhere between that is just like so lame.
So I know
Like,
people knock it as like, yes, because it's like, yeah, bad. Anything that's bad. You can be a bad DJ and you look like an idiot. You're a good DJ. It's awesome. You could be, good and bad at everything. I went to a baby shower which I was like, this is gonna fucking suck. And they were like, we know that this shit sucks, so we hired like a good fucking magician. And he did some
That's
shit.
genius, by the way.
Right? It was awesome. It was a lot of money, but it was like, I'm gonna touch you, and then both your phones ring. And it was like you didn't know, and you didn't know each other, and your phones called each other.
Bullshit.
And I was watching it
like
happen,
that.
and they were like looking, and it was like, that's my number. And then one time he did it, and because he was walking around to like tables doing it, and I was like, you fucked up, it didn't work. And the girl just had her phone on like do not disturb, and she was like, oh wait a minute, no, and it had missed call from that number. I was like,
You gotta be shitting me.
like things that are truly wildly physically impossible. I watched him, and actually then he was also doing card tricks, regular card tricks, and I guess he just kind of spotted me as like the skeptical asshole, and I tried to fuck him up where it was like take one card, and I took like a chunk of them, kind of like I took a couple extras, and then he was like, is this your card? And I was like, no, gotcha. And he like, I can't remember where he had it, but he was like, but is that your card? And I was like, fuck. And he knew that I was the asshole who was gonna try to fuck it up, and he still got it. And then I actually felt like an asshole where I was like, what if I did just fuck that guy up and just like ruin his whole act?
I got a good one.
Like, what
I got a
if-
really good
Very
one.
impressive.
Chris Angel, Mind Freak.
Oh yeah.
That shit.
So
Dude
yo,
grew up in my town. My family's friend used to babysit him. They said he was
No
a
way.
freak when he was younger.
Mind
Just,
freak.
making
I
shit
was-
fucking
wait,
levitate.
he's always been like that?
Oh yeah, making
Oh,
shit
you thinking
move
that
in the
just-
house and stuff. Like,
No.
That's
They'd
actually
be
that would be
babysitting
a funny
for him.
skit.
They'd
Like,
be
Chris
babysitting
Angel
for him
as a
and
little kid. Like, Chris, come eat your food, and like the chicken's levitating.
They'd be babysitting for him, and he'd wrap up their legs and they fucking
No way.
nightmare.
Yeah, I remember it was Blaine and Chris Angel, and it was like,
Did you ever
he was
watch-
on Chris Angel.
Did you ever
the
watch
freak.
Magic Revealed though?
Yes.
With the guy with the mask?
Yes.
He's like, magician.
They hated that guy.
Hated that guy.
Smoke would come up. Like,
Yo, one of my favorite shows is that Penn and Teller shit where you try to stump
Oh,
them.
that is an awesome
That's
show.
very cool. Have you seen that? It's like a
What do they
reality
do?
show where it's like stump Penn and Teller.
Oh, they try
and
to
they
figure out
and they
how it happened.
they catch most people. They'll be like, that was good, but like I saw where you put it in your back pocket. But every now and then there's a dude that they're like, I don't know.
What
We don't
movie I
even
watched
do it, and
recently
it's like winning American Idol.
because
or
of
whatever the fuck else.
movierankings.net, The Prestige I
Oh,
watched.
okay.
Jesus
I thought
Christ.
you were gonna say now you've seen it.
No,
Walk
never
off
seen The
set.
Prestige until like 2
What a
months
movie.
ago.
The Prestige
What a
and what's
movie.
the other
Wow,
one
what
that
a
came out at the same
movie.
time? Prestige and, it's like, it was like No Strings Attached. The Illusionist and The Prestige
Yes.
came out at like the same
It was
time.
so
Even
fucked
sisters,
up
those
because you got him so confused.
It's like-
Yep.
But they were both
The
awesome.
Prestige is so
Like
good.
Olympus and White House Down.
Yeah,
and
and then it
Those
was
movies are
she,
so
it was
bad.
straight, No Strings
and
Attached
Screaming.
and Friends with Benefits.
Yeah,
that's
all
what
of
I'm
those.
saying.
Same
Have you
exact
seen the
time.
Chris Angel clip though, where he tries to catch a nail out of a nail gun, and to prove that it's actually going, he puts up a pane of glass to show the nail going through it, and the glass shatters and it throws him off, and the nail just goes right into
Through his hand? That's
yeah.
more impressive than doing it. He
Yeah,
just took a
the-
nail through the
The
full
nail,
hand.
oh, he's in,
Blaine
like he's
caught the
swearing
bullet
in
one
pain,
time in his
bloody.
mouth, too,
Blaine
right?
does it. He
But
does
like-
that live.
but
He
like,
does that
no,
live.
He didn't, right?
Yeah,
It's
no,
into a mouth guard.
It's into a mouth guard. He does
And
it
he
live.
catches
He
it.
does
But
a live
again,
show
though,
where he
I
catches a
will
bullet.
say if David Blaine's like, all right, you paid money, what would you rather see? Me do a bunch of card tricks, or me catch a bullet? I'd be like, give me the card.
Yeah.
Does it
Every
change?
time.
They're very cool.
Dude,
I
so
think
listen,
it's-
I
just
saw
wanna
this
learn how to
guy.
do, like,
I saw
two.
this guy in person. One of the most fucked up things I've ever seen. I was playing at this place in Foxwoods, Shrine. He's good friends with the owner, and he would just like come there and hang out, and people wouldn't recognize him. So I'm with like Mojo and those guys.
Yeah, I saw Aoki hit a chick with the cake there. That's one of the most fucked up things in the world. Her head just got demolished.
Dude,
Anyway.
I saw like 15 people get their heads taken off with cakes.
Yeah.
Bro, when he
The
hits the
Chris
guy
Angel
in the
thing.
fucking wheelchair,
Oh,
the
that's
funniest
one of the
video.
most amazing things
It
like ever
is-
pulled off.
It's the funniest video of all time, but continue. It's the best.
Dude, the people like fucking come from hours and hours away with like
was Blade?
shirts. No, the fucking Aoki thing. It's the
Oh,
weirdest
What
thing in the
an
world, but it's the best
impressive
gimmick.
Even Blaine is sitting in a box above like Trafalgar Square in London, getting eggs thrown at him, and people are just driving hours to Steve. Just throw a cake at me, come on! Just throw one big sheet cake.
So
at
Chris
me.
Angel's sitting there, and Mojo fucking recognizes him and goes up and he's like, "Oh my God, you're Chris Angel!"
and this is just like in the club. He's not
Yeah,
performing.
he's like
just
sitting.
there,
He's like sitting in the
okay.
VIP section.
Yeah.
And he's like, "You got to do a trick for us. You got to do a trick for us." And he's like,
Which they love, I'm sure.
He's like,
Yeah.
He's like, all right. So he fucking levitates in front of us, which I'm like trying to figure out, like their hat, like.
But that's just like they just if you hide your one foot, it looks like you're.
Dude, but like he's like, look,
Yeah,
you
you're looking
walk
around.
around him,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
walk
yeah.
around him, and you're like, there's no box there. Like,
Right.
how's he doing this?
Right.
That was weird. So then he gets like the Gronk brothers over, and they're like, you know, you gotta fucking do something crazy or whatever. So he grabs a bottle, and it's like a Dos Equis bottle. It was a green bottle. It was Dos Equis or Heineken.
Okay.
He grabs this bottle, he takes off the cap, has a swig of it, and bites like the knot or like the head of the bottle off and just starts chewing the glass.
Like, that's not a trick. You're just a fucking freak.
No, but no blood. And he's like swallowing it, and we're like sitting there like, what the fuck? No blood in his mouth, nothing. And he's like, pours the rest of the beer in his mouth, like breaks the bottle in his hand, and he just like sits down and crosses his legs.
That's so cool.
I was like, yo, this guy's demonic.
that.
Yeah. I was like, this guy's
His train, that's like David Blaine trained his, like, he took an ice pick and started like poking it.
Just
and
so he could do it,
After
right?
years, he like got like scar tissue where he could stab his hand through with an ice pick all the way through. But he had to like literally stab himself for years.
There's a dude
to
who
do it.
he cut a pouch in his palm for quarters. So it's just like a skin
Christ.
pouch. So it's like you know, he's like boom,
See,
it
like, I don't
disappeared,
like
and
that
it's just
shit, though. I want
inside
a
his
card
hand.
trick.
Yeah, I agree.
The guy at the golf course made me take a deck of cards. He said, throw them on the ground. I threw them on the ground. He picked them up, and they were all red, black, red, black, red, black.
You don't gotta cut
I want to punch him in the face. I literally wanted
Easy
to punch
enough.
him in the
Ball
face.
in one hand,
how did
ball in
he
the
do
other.
that?
No,
Yeah.
clearly,
Yeah.
we
I had
have
another deck,
Yeah.
and
We need
somehow
a
when he
magic
picked it
guy.
up,
We do.
We need a
No
magic guy.
Bro, he's fucking.
We need to be a
something.
cool
We need a
magic guy.
magician.
What
We
if
need a
now
magician.
Barstool Idol was just a magic?
That's what I'm saying. We
I
need a
hire him.
fucking magic
I
guy.
do
have
need a
said to
magician.
You do need a
myself
magic
so
guy.
many
But then
times.
once
Not like a weird magic guy, like a cool magic
Once
guy.
on the internet,
I'm
it's
not
over.
Like
Once
it's
on
a
the internet,
wand
it's
and a
over.
hat.
They
Yeah.
can't be internet guys.
I have told myself so
don't
many
know.
times. I've said, but I don't think I can bring myself to do this because I think I would get killed. But I was like, when my Barstool money comes in and we can kind of like relax a little bit, that like, you know, the job is accomplished. I was like, I'm gonna take fucking magic classes. I'm gonna learn my magic, which I think I will. But I think it would be very funny, like, could you imagine doing a rundown and Dave finds out that I go to magic classes? I mean, until you, like you said, until you can do cool magic,
Yes.
you're a fucking loser. Where you're like, you walk it up like, hey, can I do a trick for you? Like,
Yeah.
I
You
love
gotta
this
have,
long
you gotta
hair
have the
and
hands,
shit.
man. Sleight of hand.
It-
You gotta
it
have
almost
the
is
hands.
like
You gotta
a-
watch this
yeah.
kid's fucking fingers.
But that's what I
dude.
mean.
It's
I just
nuts.
want to do like, I don't need to do the
Basics.
best of the best. But
Yeah.
if you could be out at a party or whatever, and you're not an overbearing dick about it, but you're just like, yo, check this out.
Dude, I had
I
a
was just like in like 5 years just to walk down the street and see you slinging magic.
How funny would that be?
I had a
like, where are
phase-
they now? I'm on the
Next to, like,
corner
the guy
doing
with the
3-card
flute.
Monty.
Next to the guy with the flute who's like completely
I'm in Times Square with Elmo. Step right up. I'll do a magic trick for you. See? Yeah.
I had like a heavy magic phase when David Blaine, Chris Angel were in like middle school, and I tried to learn. I got
Can you do shit?
bullied.
Yeah,
no, I
well,
got bullied so.
middle school's probably not the right time.
Yes, no, I learned some cool shit, but I forgot it all now. But I like
Yeah.
would try to do it in the like the lunchroom, like carry it, and they were like, "What is this
You know how
fucking
many
kid?" I got
chicks
bullied
you
so
could pull?
hard.
That's what I mean. Would
Would you rather learn magic or learn the?
You have to be
acoustic
sick
guitar?
at it though. You have to be really good.
I think I'd
Guitar.
rather be.
Magic.
Oh no,
Guitar
dude.
guy.
You're talking.
Dude, you
about
could go up
shutting
to
down-
any girl
Magic, yeah,
on
magic.
the planet
True, true. That
and
would-
blow their mind
Yeah,
with a
ma-
magic
See,
trick.
I think
But
there's
I
a,
also
I
think
think
if you
I think
step
the
up and
guitar.
the best
guy-
icebreaker
there's-
of all
that's the
time.
worst
I think you
move.
pull out a guitar like on the guitar guy at the party, people want to smash you in the head with that guitar.
Yeah.
Magic is so much more rare.
Being able
There's
to
plenty
sing
of guitar
and
guys.
play
Yeah.
a guitar and
I'm not.
like, show up to
I'm
a
actually
bar,
not putting that
that
down.
is a fucking.
No.
That
Okay.
is a.
Listen. You pull out the guitar and you play some shit. People walk home and they go like, oh man, that guy, like, he could really sing, right? I'm at the bar and I throw a deck of cards at the TV and the fucking Queen of Hearts comes up on the television. You're talking about that for the rest of your life.
It ends up in the girl's panties. You're like, no,
Yeah.
he's like,
There
oh, the place goes crazy.
Like that to me, you are, if you're good at it,
No,
you're
that's
blowing
definitely true.
minds.
You can also
Yeah,
you can
alright,
impress
alright.
everyone. Like with the guitar, there's probably a good chance someone else can play the guitar
Someone
at the party,
better than you,
and like
whatever.
everyone likes
I
magic.
feel like magic guys don't get pussy though.
I think
It's good if you're the best.
I think
I don't
that's.
think so
I think it's
either.
like.
The guitar guys get pussy. I don't think magic guys
I
get
honestly
pussy.
bet that's like anything else, where it's like I remember
don't
when
want
people used to
pussy.
like look down. Yeah, they're like, I don't believe in pussy. I believe in magic.
But they said they weren't,
an
and
illusion,
that's
Michael.
why they're catching bullets now.
Yeah.
They just
Yeah,
like
they gotta
before,
keep upping it.
like I was
They
looking
just
up.
fuck
It's
a
remember
dark force in
Marvin's
their
Magic
room. That's in the corner.
box. That was like always the
Oh, yeah,
infomercial.
it's like a mask.
Yeah.
Like that shit, yeah, no.
Yeah, you
but
do
now
the
it's sort of like we
cheesy
gotta,
one.
we gotta get to catch bullets and shit. But now, see, that's not a magician.
It's
like,
more like stunts. It's a mix of like
Yes.
body, like how like you're
Extreme.
training your body to do extreme like contortions and shit,
Yeah, I'm not
and then
gonna. I don't
sleight
want
of
like.
hand.
If I have to work out to do my magic, I'm not doing it.
But one of David
But
Blaine's
I bet you it's like same thing with bloggers. I remember people being like, "Do you think like bloggers hook up? Do you think the girls like them?" It's like, if you do anything in the world that stands out, that
Yeah.
people are like, "Oh wow," You're gonna get attention.
If you're a magician out there and you get pussy, let us know.
There's a crazy clip though
You
of
get pussy from drinking beer, bro. Of course,
Dude,
I
I'm
can
telling you,
magic.
it's the best icebreaker of all time.
Yeah.
You can walk up to a
Just
group
watch this.
of fucking like NFL linebackers with their smoking hot chicks and be like, all right,
Watch this.
watch this.
Yeah.
And their girls are gonna be like drooling.
Again, that.
on you.
they're
And
remember
the
you
guys
for
are
the
gonna
rest
be
of the night.
like, holy shit, you're the
yeah.
man.
I mean, remember when Chappelle was like running away from David Blaine? Like he's like the most entertaining guy in the way
Yeah.
in the world. Chappelle,
We might
David
be
Blaine
wrong
is a
on
skit.
this one.
Yeah, we're wrong.
Yeah,
We're
you're
very
crazy
wrong.
wrong.
David Blaine
Crazy
took,
wrong.
like, this was the most impressive. He took off George W. Bush while he was president, took off his watch during a trick, got back, like, the Secret Service didn't notice, nobody caught
Wow.
it. He's doing a sleight of hand trick, and it's one of those watches, not like a rope watch, a link.
A clasp,
Yeah,
you
a
have
clasp,
to
yeah.
undo
So
it.
he was able to take it off without the Secret Service or anything, or the president of the United States. He's like,
They
yo,
should-
by the way, I have your watch, Mr. President, and gave it
Forget
back.
about magic. That dude should be doing like fucking CIA,
Robbing banks,
operations
man.
and shit.
You rob fucking banks like.
I need to learn magic. Who wants to be in my magic gang? You guys want to be in a Barstool
Let's
magic
start
gang?
a trope. Yeah.
Dude, I bet you there's someone out there that's really fucking good that
Teach me.
would mentor you.
Teach me,
You know how many
man.
weirdos at this company would love to do magic with you?
It's a very like
I'm
I don't think you
surprised
want
it
to
hasn't
admit
been
it,
done.
but it's fucking cool as shit,
I
man.
know. I
You
think
just
should
can't be
start
the
it up.
asshole. Like I
Barstool
walk
Magic.
around with like a deck of cards, but it's like
Oh,
once you can do
it's
it.
right next to a wallet. You just pull it out. It's no problem.
I just want if I could just do one.
It's a party
Is
trick.
this
thing,
your
too.
card?
You
How
do.
fucking-
That's
all it
Cards
takes.
are typically
How
at
embarrassing
parties.
is it if you fuck it up though?
That's what.
Yeah,
That's
that's well,
big
that's
risk.
Drop
it's
the deck of
honestly,
cards.
It's legit like being a stand-up comic, where it's
Right.
like when you see that act and it's amazing, they bombed like 25 times.
It can be funny once, you're like, ah, fuck me, you just chug your beer and then you move on. Like that could be funny. It happens multiple times. And
You're
it's like
done.
this
Yeah.
guy's doing it on purpose. Like not funny anymore.
You got your new podcast out.
Yeah, Son of a Boy Dad.
Son of a Boy Dad. I just don't understand that title. Can you explain it to me?
I don't really understand it either.
Was that a Rowan
Apparently,
idea?
We're all sons of boy dads.
Do you
If
know
you're
what
a
that means,
boy,
Frankie?
you are a son of a boy.
Do you know what
dad.
that means?
Well, it's like the girl dad.
Girl
thing
dad,
has
boy
become
dad.
pretty freaking like
Yeah.
popular, so it's a take on that, I guess. But it is a funny show. I've listened to it. It's
Thank
really
you,
good.
appreciate it.
You guys got me with the Dave Portnoy appearance thing.
Oh yeah.
You got by that?
I was just like,
Surprised by that.
well, I was like, is Dave on this show?
You know, it got
Listen to the whole-
released during playoff time. Your brain's just
Yeah, I just listened to the whole thing. Like Dave was
Yeah,
not
Dave
on
is
the
not on it.
Is there in-house rivalry between you and Anus? I feel like there's
No,
that's
not
got
at
to
all.
be a big.
No, we
big
actually I
which
think
who has the weirder fucking podcast situation?
probably them by a
They're
lot.
Yeah,
Anus is
okay.
significantly. Yeah, you guys
Yeah.
are like being very much. They are being themselves
Yeah.
at times.
Theirs
yeah,
are
yeah.
a lot more well thought through and
How did that come about? Rowan come to you? You go to Rowan?
yeah, Rowan was just like, "Do you want to do a podcast?" And I was like, "Yeah, I would love to do a podcast."
Great story.
Yeah.
What I've been out of the mix, so I don't know what the result of this was, but I was listening to the Yak one of these days, and they were fucking with you with that. You were supposed to do stand-up comedy.
Oh,
and they called
yeah.
up that place. Have you like?
No, that dream died quickly.
They really,
Were you
dude,
doing
they
stand-up?
really.
I was gonna
fucked
do an
it.
open mic, and then the guy called me during the Yak, and we answered, and then he like hung up on me, and it became a whole thing. And then like all the Yak listeners started calling the guy.
Bro, it was very funny
shit.
though.
Hilarious.
What
they
club
just,
is
because they
this?
just looked up his name. I don't even remember what club it was.
Bro, he's been waiting to do stand up, like whatever. You've been planning it, right?
Yeah, I was
And this
planning
guy,
on it.
he said it prior in the beginning of the show, and then the guy calls him. He goes, "Oh, I'm getting a random phone number, whatever." So he answers, and the guy goes, "Hey, this is blah 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 from this club."
Yeah.
And everyone
And
in the
everyone
room
starts laughing.
laughs, and he goes, "Is something funny?" And
Yeah.
hangs up.
Yeah, it was
so
really
the way
funny.
Rowan was talking, he goes, "That's a very funny character, a guy who runs a comedy club who
Can't take a
hates
joke."
laughter."
Yeah.
That is a really good bit.
Yeah.
Like really good bit.
You
that
think
guy
you
is
think
a
you don't even
cartoon
hear it
character.
because it just happens so much in his head. It
Oh,
just
oh, was something
Yeah.
funny?
White
And
noise
he
in
fucking
him.
gets angry.
Were you taking it seriously?
Do you have like a set?
Yeah, I wanted.
Yeah.
Oh no, I mean like I don't know. I did at the time. I probably don't anymore. This was like a month ago or so. Or no, it was like a
I
month
mean, I
ago.
feel like
You
if you had a
lost
set
it?
a month ago,
You
you could do
lost
it.
in a month?
I don't know, like jokes age. I feel like I don't know.
Oh, I
I
mean,
look back
that's
at shit all the
different,
time,
but
and I'm like, I don't think that's funny.
I
anymore.
think if you can work at it, you'd be a phenomenal. Like just the way
I wanna
your
do
type
it.
of humor and your delivery and like your
Yeah.
whole weird vibe, I think would be great.
I mean, I
stand-up.
think honestly, now that we're doing the podcast, that thought's kind of died down a little bit.
Dude, fuck that. Do it, man.
Yeah, you should
You're so
try it.
young too. My biggest regret. Well, first, I just don't think I have like the natural chops for it. But also, even if I wanted to, you have to start when you're like your age.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
every successful comic is like, I've been doing it for like 22 years, and I'm like, you're like 33, dude. What? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you have to do it when you're so young because it's just a matter of reps and bombing.
Yeah.
So fucking do it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna try it still. I
Yeah.
think. I mean, there wasn't that many open mics open when I did it because New York wasn't like fully
Oh,
when
yeah,
I
yeah,
wanted
yeah.
to do it because New York wasn't fully back yet. But I'm sure there are now.
What
do it
sucks,
too.
you know what's tough is when, anybody want one?
Yeah, I'll do it.
When you are,
Am I allowed to piss on this show?
yeah, go ahead.
I've done it
you
before.
always ask me that. Like if I would like stop you guys from
Editing
peeing.
rules.
I
No one's
believe.
allowed to pee during pints.
I have the first ever pee though. On
Did you?
Yeah, you did. You
I
said it's the first pee we've had.
I believe to this
Can
day,
you hear the mic on?
I have the first and I think only
They'll
ever
cut it.
sneeze on the rundown.
Really?
I don't think anyone's ever sneezed on the rundown
Really?
except for me.
What?
That's
I oddly
insane.
believe that.
I just don't think anybody's ever sneezed
I don't
except
even know if
for me.
I've ever heard Dave sneeze.
That's what I mean.
Ever?
Have you ever seen Dan or Dave sneeze on the rundown?
What
Definitely
a
not.
rumor! Dave has never seen.
Dave doesn't sneeze. That's why his nose is so big. It just keeps growing. He doesn't get it out, that little bitch. But what's tough about stand-up is like when you start out and you're bombing and you're a nobody. It's like
Yeah.
whatever. If you show up and people are like, that's the Barstool guy, you already have a lot of followers,
Yeah.
and people see you and know you, and you're like, oh, that sucked.
Yeah, I
it's
know,
at least
yeah.
for me, it's a lot harder to like. You can't go out there and bomb because
that's the
people
thing,
expect
too,
it
and
to be
then-
funny, and it's like, well, I'm not good at this yet.
Yeah, so that was like I wanted to do an open mic, and Big Cat was like, we can just like do a show, and like stoolies will come and whatever. But I was
Yeah.
like, I don't want to do that at all.
You want it to
Not
be
for your
like,
first one
no,
too.
that would
Yeah,
be
yeah.
fucking
But it
horrible.
went well, Kevin, when you did it, didn't it? Like, it was, it
yeah,
was
the
pretty
one
good.
the one time I did like actual stand up, I did like probably like 10 minutes. My guy Josh Wolf let me open for him.
How long did it feel? Was it quick or long?
It was. I'm trying to remember. And actually, I needed to speed it up, like, cause it was kind of like you only have. And once I got a little comfortable, I think I started to like blah blah blah. I wasn't as tight, so I think I actually felt like I needed to go faster. I'm sure for other people, you do like. You feel like you have like 10 minutes and you do like 3, and you're like, oh fuck, what do I do for 7 more? But
Yeah.
I think I had enough experience talking that I could like stretch it out. But I think it went all right. It was his crowd. I was probably a little more like vulgar and talking about like sex and shit than they were used to. But I think it went well, but it's just such, and so I was like, I'm gonna do it. And it's just such an undertaking. If you're not doing just that, like for me to like, I wouldn't be able to do this and that show and merch and da-da-da. But it was cool. It was a cool feeling to be like, to get through it. But then, we're gonna do a live podcast. We have one on July 15th, Thursday night, 8 p.m. It's at Levity Comedy Club in Nyack up in Rockland. It's like 35 minutes outside the city. So if you live here in the city, you want to pop up, you can do it. Tickets go to KFC Radio, the social. You'll see the links. But we do like live podcasts. That's so different than doing like a stand-up set.
Yeah.
I almost know like some people feel like going up there with a set, like your routine, when you know it's good. Like you're like, I'm gonna kill. This is
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
When we do the live podcast, I'm like, I don't know what's about to happen. Like we
Do you guys
might
plan shit out, or do you just go up?
very loosely. Like we
Yeah.
have like our voicemails, we have our things, but I'm like, like I always feel like sometimes you listen to a podcast and it's good, but you listen to like a 10-minute conversation.
Yeah.
But it's not like a laughing out
No.
loud punchlines, So if you're sitting in a comedy club for multiple minutes in a row where no one's laughing, it's
Dude, that's
like
the thing. So like,
I wanna
I've
fucking kill
seen.
myself.
So we got this spot in Chicago called Zanies. It's like world famous, right? They get unbelievable talent that comes through. It's like when I'm not working on like a Saturday night, it's my favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
Go there. And I've seen like acts come through there, play same set, or do the same set.
like 10 years apart, right?
No, but it's like hit or miss. It depends
really?
on like
Yeah,
the
the
opener.
crowd.
It
Yep,
depends
yep,
on the
yep.
crowd. It
For
depends
sure.
on like what the fuck is going on in the world.
For
and, like,
sure.
So it's
The
not
mood that
like you
night.
can have a killer set, and I've seen like killer sets kill and killer sets like so there's nothing I respect more entertainment-wise than stand-up comedians. I think
it's the coolest shit.
I
in the
think it
world.
is the hardest fucking
is.
thing in the entire world.
And you have to eat shit for so long, and then even when
Yeah.
you do get good, you got to get through the politics of it
Yeah.
all.
I
and
respect
then when
the
you just
fuck
kill,
out of comedians.
when you have
That
an
would
act
ruin
that
me
just
for years
murders,
if I had like no laugh. I would just quit.
dude,
Like, you're just
that's
on the
like,
road
after
the whole
one time,
time.
I'd be like, I'm never doing this
Yeah.
again. That was so embarrassing, and then you
Oh,
got to
dude,
just
when you
grind through it.
bomb, it is like the fact people get back up there and do it again is like I respect.
I
the
think
fuck
when
out of
when you
them.
have the mentality of like, it's like if you're practicing basketball and you miss a bunch of shots, you're not gonna quit. You're like, all right, I need to.
Yeah.
I'm getting better. So if you think like, I just use that opportunity to like refine these jokes, but that's a whole set of 300 people in that room who think that you're the worst.
Yeah.
Forever. They're gonna go home and tell everyone how much you fucking suck.
Yeah, that is
But you
true,
gotta just
yeah.
like get over that. But like last night at the Comedy Cellar here in New York, Shane Gillis was up, and then all of a sudden, Chris Rock came through, Dave
No
Chappelle
way.
came through. Michael
you
Che
there?
and Colin Jost were there. No, I wish I was.
Fuck.
This is why I always tell myself, I'm like, twice a week, we all should just be going to comedy clubs and like just to
I'm
be
going to,
around it and see it, and I just never fucking do it because
I've been
bored
trying to
a few
go a lot
times.
more. I went to see Ari Shaffir 2 weeks ago, and then Big J Okerson was there, who's so fucking
I mean, the
funny.
guys who are regularly up in New York are fucking unbelievable.
Yeah, and then,
you get a moment like that where like the greats come through, and it's
Yeah.
like, it was right down the block. We could have been there for fucking $15. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like,
I'm going to see the Cumtown dudes. They do Fat Tuesdays.
Yeah.
so are they stand-ups or are they doing live
Yeah,
podcasts?
they're all
No, they're all
See,
stand-ups.
that's the thing is everybody does some form of stand-up comedy,
Yeah.
not just live podcasts. That really is the great like differentiator.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
why you
seeing
should
Tim
do it.
Dillon when he comes to town.
Yeah,
he sold
me
out
too.
like
5
right
shows.
away.
He did 5 shows in
Yeah,
Cali.
we were one of the 50
Dude, he
one.
went
Yeah, me too.
hyperdrive, man. He was
Oh,
on our
yeah.
show right before he hit the tipping point. He's pulling down 170K
Dude, he's
a
one of the
month
biggest
on
on
Patreon.
Patreons. Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
for him, man.
It's great, and that's like then he sells his tickets, then he sells his merch,
It's
then he
like,
has his
and then
podcast
he has,
ads.
Yeah, and then he's also on like Apple, Spotify, YouTube. Like
Sure.
he must be making so much money.
It's crazy.
ridiculous.
I mean, he deserves it, but it's also like you never know when it's just gonna go.
Yeah.
His story is crazy too. Like where he was at when he was. Fucking,
That's also a thing.
Why,
that
what is
that-
it?
I mean,
What's his, like, story?
He's like, so he came out of the closet at 25. So he's like, I'm a gay cocaine addict of a schizophrenic mother, and he used to be like a Long Island like mortgage salesman. You know what I mean? He's got this like slick talking, shisty businessman persona. Used to be addicted to drugs and booze. Now he's sober. Came out of the closet very late in life. His mother is a crazy schizophrenic, and he's dialed in on like politics and conspiracies. You know, it's just like,
Yeah.
and it's like, what's your story? I'm like, regular fucking dude from a nice home and a nice family. You know, it's like sometimes you just don't even have the life that can compare.
Yeah.
Not that funny's funny, but that kind of shit for sure helps.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, you should definitely stick.
Yeah,
to
I'm
it.
gonna try
You're
it.
young enough that you should. As we speak right now, we got the Frank the Tank, Nate. It already happened.
Wait, it's over?
Yeah.
Who won?
What
happened?
Oh, man, I was
Clean sweep for the Nate dog.
for the dogs. So,
Tank,
Tank
I
didn't
was
even put up
monitoring
a
it. Tank
fight.
was Tank had a pretty substantial.
Cracking
lead.
Aces, #1 poker podcast in the world.
I think
Hey!
Tank in the second game or the first one had like a 13 to like single digit lead, and then he got his doors blown
And the
off.
dog just blew him out. Boy, you gotta feel like Nate is just so happy that like if Nate can roll people in the physical contest at Barstool, you know that the opponent is on an all-time low.
It's gonna be a party
With all
tonight,
due
man.
Yo, the dog's gonna be throwing a
Tank.
fucking like a Stanley Cup
All due
party.
We're gonna be
respect.
popping some
Tank.
bottles
Yeah.
tonight.
Frank is gonna be down and out.
I
Shit,
sat in a
man.
45-minute Uber with Tank yesterday. Just
How'd
me
that
and
go?
Tank. It was
How was
great.
that?
Where was
Talked
that
about
to?
the Mets.
What was better, being
People talk
being
some
on
politics.
the RV, being on
I
the
didn't
RV
really
for
talk
Barstool
politics,
versus
but I
America,
listened.
or being in a 45-minute Uber with Frank?
It was
Tank?
great. It was peaceful. We kind of just mind our own business.
I've
for a
done
little bit.
like a 20-30 minute Uber with Frank.
Yeah.
I've been
It's-
in Frank's
it's a-
car before.
He's a different.
You've
he's-
been in
highway.
Frank the Tank's car?
Oh, that
Yeah,
video
my
was
first
so where
year
you were
here.
filming
The
Kyle who was
little,
filming next.
yeah.
The little, what's it called? Like a RAV4 or something? A Highlander?
Yeah, something, I think he has a
I can't
Highlander.
imagine Tank behind the
Is
wheel.
it
How's
true?
it
I think
drive?
does he not take highways? Is that true?
Like,
Yeah.
Like literally.
We
Like,
go
literally.
Yeah,
yeah,
physically.
He won't take only back roads for Tank, which must take forever.
Tommy
Does he
driver
just drive
doesn't-
from the
Tommy
back
Smoke won't
seat?
do highways either.
No.
Crazy.
Does
Like
the
he's a
front
good
seat
driver.
like out?
Right? Isn't he a good, okay driver?
Yeah, I mean, we got on the highway and he got a little spooked, and then we, because he didn't mean to get on the highway, and then we were going real slow. We were going really
Getting,
slow.
getting a
Yo,
peek behind the
Frankie.
curtain off camera.
Yo,
Tank
you
is
should
special.
be on
Oh,
Donnie. That
he's-
should be a Donnie
he says
fucking
some
show.
awesome
stuff.
Driving with Frank
Driving with Tank.
during fucking rush hour.
You get in the tank with the tank. Go find one of those places
yeah,
where you can
that'd
drive
be
around
fun.
tanks.
When
Mash it up.
you get to have like a really just like no cameras, like what makes Tank tick.
That's
I
another.
fucking love
There's another
Tank. I love
franchise.
Tank.
What makes Tank tick, and you just do
love
like
Tank.
shit off like the things that he likes. Give a little preview for Barstool versus America as we wrap up here. It's
Dude.
it sounds like it's gonna be like the most.
Comes out Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday
Sunday
at 7.
night.
I tweeted out. Me personally, I'm either going to be like a superstar coming out of this, or
No,
or
he's
the
not.
biggest
I love
douchebag
it.
in the world.
No. This is a real. Like,
Or
I,
the biggest
I
douchebag in the
really,
world.
I can't decide if you're gonna be a
I
star
can't
or a
either.
douche. I can't.
Personally,
Well, it all
I
depends
went
on
all
the edit,
out
right?
in every single challenge. I like worked my balls off, and then when we have these like testimonial things, I turn into like
So like
such a douche.
I've never seen it. So I finally watched the first episode today. So I never saw a testimonial. I hung out with them, but I was never in the room for those. I was never on the RV. I was only host for the challenges and like the little incidental stuff, and then I'd see them out at night. So I never saw like the real drama. I get little reports because you don't want to know too much, otherwise you're really like interviewing them and not just hosting the show.
Yeah.
So I don't know if the douchebag comes out during that.
That's
But
what
there are
like,
a couple Dana moments that are moments, and there's one thing he did, and I actually do think I do say this. I feel like I say this a lot. I said it today about like Conan. By the way, fuck Jay Leno. Shout out to Conan. I think it's the hardest I've ever laughed at something in person in my life.
Wow.
Like we
Like
had
on purpose?
like
Made him
full
laugh, or
stop.
like he-
No.
It was
Like
shocking.
at your expense, or
No, it was something I did by accident.
Yeah, it was shocking, and I was in full tears. I had to like, you have to give me a minute. I can't actually.
So
speak
they
right
came
now.
to Chicago. They rolled through Chicago, and we met up. We were at my boys' bar. Shout out Country Club.
That's
Chicago.
That
was
was so fun. That
Dude,
was
these
a
guys
scene.
fucking partied
They're animals.
like
they
maniacs.
went
It was
on a
so
Tuesday
much-
night. On a Tuesday
You guys,
night.
you
Exactly.
guys went so fucking hard.
And Jeff is like, I gotta tell you what the fuck happened. He like takes me aside and he's like, he can't even explain it to me. He's in tears. I'm like, fucking spit it out.
What happened? I want to
can't- I'll-
fucking
I'll
know
tell
now.
have to tune in.
It happens in episode 2.
Is it during a comp?
Don't give it away.
competition,
Don't
or
give it
is
away.
Like,
Challenge.
it's during a challenge. Okay.
Yeah, during a challenge.
Because I mean, I know, like, I'm just thinking of whether you're gonna be the star or the douchebag. Like, you being on radio, being like, I'm the blowjob king, is the best thing ever.
Spider has some moments.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of that, this guy was.
Cleaning up.
You better have fucking closed on Tuesday night. That's all I know.
I'm close.
I'm voting douchebag.
All
I'm
these
voting-
dude, I was like standing back, like, man, this guy fucking cleans up.
I've
Chicks are
really
coming
been
up
out
like-
since I'm like a known human being, and then
No,
come
chicks
up to
were
me.
coming up
Nice.
to me. They didn't even know like he was like famous or whatever. They were like, "Who's your friend over there?"
He's
Like
just got a vibe, bro. He's got an
the
aura.
tall guy
about
with the
him.
hair.
We
Yeah.
always say.
That's what they
Hair
kept
in the
saying.
beard.
Say.
God, I would
He's
never
back.
fuck Dana. I
He's
would
back.
never fuck you. It's crazy that people
I'm
do. But you know, you put up
I'm not
25
gonna get
and
in the
12, man.
douchebag mode.
Put
I'm
up
not
double
gonna do
doubles.
it.
So.
I'm gonna-
Yeah,
Reel it in.
what we're gonna do next week, hopefully, is have like almost the whole cast, or at least most of the cast, on Pints to kind of recap everything. I feel like it's gonna be juicy and scandalous, and then there'll be all the shit that didn't make it that's even juicier and more scandalous.
Yeah, it everything that happened made it.
Everything?
So it's
Everything?
there's not much cutting room floor, I'll leave it that way.
So tune in Sunday
Sunday at 7
Sunday
p.m.
at
We'll know by Wednesday if Dana's the douche or the star.
Okay.
But they all have moments. Balls has some moments. Balls is like the storyline of the first episode. It's not the most flattering storyline in the world, but
Wow.
whatever.
Got balls?
No.
No, it
High maintenance
might have to do with
balls,
some
maybe?
poop, but
Oh, wow.
So I mean, yeah, everyone's got
Yikes.
some. There's some fire. Marty turned like Spider went out of the gates, fucking blazing.
Yeah.
Hated everybody.
Really?
And it was.
Yeah,
I mean, you know,
put some money on
he
the
got
line
into
to
his
get the
zone.
cameras
Yeah.
I can
on
see
and
that. That's not
shit
surprising.
get wild. So Barstool vs. America Sunday night. Die Trying. Do we know when season? We don't know when episode 2 is yet.
Episode 2
You
will
gotta-
be at beginning of August.
beginning of August coming out. Check out Son of a Boy Dad, new podcast. Check out the live stream. It's, Game 7. When's that? Saturday.
That's tomorrow.
Or Friday
So
night.
right now, like,
Yeah.
you know, after
Oh,
this ends,
shit.
go check out the
Yeah,
live stream for Game
Saturday.
7.
I almost died the other night. I gotta say this publicly. I almost died chasing the cap to a cream bottle.
To a what bottle?
What?
Wait, what?
I've
Cream
been trying to tell everyone I can.
Cream bottle?
It's a
because
cream
a little,
bottle.
little bottle of cream, face cream.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Cap, little cap.
Okay.
I imagine you running around Borelli's
So, like,
like
in
a
the
cream
bathroom or
bottle.
something?
No, bro. I'm walking the street of Long Beach, Long Island, right?
Okay.
Glenny Balls. Shout out Glenny Balls. It's
Yeah,
his
Long
area.
Beach. What up?
So there's a fucking street, and there's the beach, and in between like the street and the beach is a little parking lot that's also part of the street. You know those like beach towns where like you can park in the middle of the street, whatever.
Yeah.
So when you're walking down the sidewalk, it almost feels like a parking lot, even though cars can come down the street at like 60 miles an hour. So we're all walking down the street, the wind's fucking blowing, it's coming off the ocean, whatever, and we're all like walking to this restaurant. And I have this little bit of face cream because I've been blowing my nose a lot, that my nose has been getting chapped. So I'm like trying to sneak this little bottle of cream behind my friends.
What, so you're not the pussy who's putting on face
So
cream?
I'm like this, like putting on
Yeah.
fucking face cream. And the bottle, the cap to the bottle starts rolling away into the street. So much so that it was almost like a movie. It was taken off. And I go, look at this fucking thing, right? And I just jog into the street.
Just running head down like a
And
child
all of a
chasing a ball
sudden-
into the street.
Like my girlfriend's sister goes, Fry! And I go, whoo! And I stop, and the car goes, wow, like 80 miles an hour.
Dude, that's literally
And I
what
look back and I go,
my 3-year-old son.
I look back and I was like, if you didn't scream my
imagine
name,
if you just got
they would think
splattered.
I just ran into the street. They wouldn't know about it.
Right. They have no idea.
They
why.
thought they're like, Frank, you don't need to do this here.
Wish.
I fucking love you.
I
Bro.
fucking wish. Imagine that.
I couldn't go to
It
dinner.
was
I
just
couldn't go to dinner. My heart was fucking in my
Could
throat.
you imagine that little like obituary, like Frank Worley Jr. died on Friday night.
The evidence would have
He
been
ran
blown
out
away.
into
The cat would have been
been
blocks
no-
away. They never would have known.
ran into traffic.
They would have brought some fucking, HBO detective in there.
No idea
They
that
would have
was
been like,
chasing a
they would have been
fucking bottle
like,
cap.
there's no evidence except a bottle of cream here.
Troubled young man.
The playoffs, it just got to him. The Islanders lost that night and he ran in
You
traffic.
know that I would have kept going if no one screamed.
Wow.
I never heard it. The wind
You
was
would be
in my
that would have
ears.
been that's death.
Death. The car was flying.
You would have been I would have watched you get splattered.
Bro, I would have gotten hit and then head and then done.
Would they have?
True.
I hate
Would they have
that.
honored you at the beginning of Game 6?
That
though?
was the day to dinner.
What would have happened?
Absolutely.
Would you get a black patch on the
Brock
sleeve?
or someone like would have put a little FB on their helmet or something. Maybe worth it for Game 7.
Could you imagine your funeral at
just do it tonight.
Borelli's? Oh, man, that'd be great. They make
They're honoring him. He's dead. They just pan to like his dad and Stu, or just
I
like
still
sitting
have
there.
time.
They leave your
game
seat
is
blank.
on. The game is in like a day and 3 hours. I can figure this out.
Just break a couple legs.
Yeah.
Can you imagine your empty seat? They just put like a black T-shirt over. We left the seat blank for you.
What if
Frankie
they put
Borelli.
a decal on the back of the helmet, but it's the moon face picture?
Oh
you made?
no!
Would that be worth
what about
it?
if you're?
Would
What
that be
about if
worth
you're
it?
like
Tough. Yeah, I think it'd be worth it.
your in memorial picture, like
Exactly.
his moon face,
You know,
the
I actually threw
slideshow.
that hoodie out because I couldn't. I think it's the hoodie.
Oh yeah,
that's
that's the
it.
hoodie's
Yeah.
fault. It's
But
not
dude,
your fat fucking
but
face.
to close that out, I think that was my moment. I think everyone has like a
Near death. You got a good
That
near
was
death
it,
story.
bro. I'm telling you.
God, that's
I
so
would've-
funny that they would have had no idea. They would have just been
And
like,
the only
we were
reason
walking
she
down the
looked back
block
is
and
because
he just
some-
killed himself.
Everyone was ahead of me. I was trying to be secretive, so I stepped back.
All
and
just because he
Put
didn't
the
want to be
cream
like,
on.
my
the
nose
girl-
hurts, so I put
the
cream
girl
on.
that screamed my name happened to be looking back because one of our friends was locking up his house, and he was a little bit. She goes, "Where's Rob?"
There's only reason to turn around, yeah. Oh,
It was like
think about
that. It was crazy.
It almost cost your crippling insecurity to put lotion on. Almost cost you your life.
Yeah,
It's staggering.
yeah.
That is
That's
toxic
poetic.
They
masculinity
told me to
right
throw
there.
that
I will
bottle out.
say,
It
I
was too
was-
expensive. I still have it.
I mean, it is ripe to be. I mean, literally, Tyler O'Day had a thing of hand cream earlier, and I saw somebody jerking off. Like, it is like,
Yeah, of
I
course.
like, I didn't
Dude,
really-
for sure, mate.
I mean, there was
Cream
no.
in my fucking
You
pocket.
would have gotten shit, I guess. Yeah.
The first time cream.
All right, that's it for Pints. Go to 3chi.com. Use the promo code 3chi-pints. Get 5% off. Must be 21 or older. Get the edibles, get the tinctures, get the vapes, get that Delta 8 in you. You won't regret it. Anything going on? We got conspiracies coming up. We got anything in Chicago? Any events you want to plug? Anything going on?
I'm just sending prayers up for my boy Feidelberg, man.
Same.
Like,
You know what?
Fights.
Yeah, pour some out for your boy. Because also at the same time, you don't know what fights actually wants. Maybe this is what he wants. Maybe this is what he's been waiting for. So either way, so get well soon or don't, whichever you want, Feidelberg. Thanks for watching Friday Night Pints. Make sure you click on the bell icon below to keep up with notifications, and make sure you subscribe to our channel. Strong drinks, full pints, can't lose.
Can't lose.